Hey kids, guess what we're going to do today? We're going to learn how to use our calculators. The TI-89, we're going to use that to solve a system of equations. Okay, so for this example, I'm going to use the one that we did in class a couple of days ago about the artist kit that has the brushes and the paint. I've included over here on the left the work that we did for that. Identifying the variables, writing my two equations, okay, solving by substitution, solving for a variable, plugging it back in, substituting for a variable in another equation, and solving. We ended up getting that paint costed 25 cents, that was Y, and the brushes, which were X, costed $2.55. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to use your TI-89 to do the same thing. So let's bring it up. You need to go to your home screen, or if you want, you can go directly to the Y equals screen. Now, in order to be able to graph, you might remember that we needed to go to green and then Y equals. So that's up here by the F1, so I need to go green, F1. If you have things here already, you're going to need to clear them. So just arrow upside down and push the clear button. That'll get rid of them. Now, you notice that this is in Y equals form. And so we're going to have to rearrange the equations that we have into Y equals mx plus b. So let's do it. Let's take these. I'm going to take 2x plus 5y equals 635. I'm going to subtract the 2x because I want to get the y by itself. Now this time I have to get the y by itself because that's what you have to do when you're graphing on the calculator. So 2x plus 635. Divide both sides by 5. And I end up with y equals negative 2 over 5x plus 127. Alright, so there's one equation. I need to do the same thing with the other one. So let's move along. We've got 4x plus 12y equals 1320. We're going to subtract the 4x. Again, I'm trying to get the y by itself. So anything not a y, I want to move to the other side. So negative 4x plus 1320. Divide both sides by 12. Divide everything by 12. It doesn't matter if you do it this way, dividing everything, or if you divide the individual pieces. Some people like to do it this way. It's a little bit easier to see. The 4 divided by the 12 is 1/3 plus 110. There you go. So now I've got my two equations in y equals form. Let's bring the calculator back up. We're going to use the calculator now. We're going to type in our two equations. We've got negative 2/5 x plus 127. All right, and then I'm going to put the other equation in, negative 1/3 x. Now it doesn't matter which one you put in first, as long as you put them both in. Now note that one of them's in y1, one of them's in y2. That's going to be important a little bit later. Let's go ahead and graph it so we can see it. So graph is right here above the F3. It's in green, so I need to go green, F3. There's the graph. Now if your graph doesn't look exactly like mine, it probably just means that you're in a different window. If you can't see where they cross, then you need to rezoom it. You need to change your window. You can do that manually by going into the green F2 to change the window, or you can just push F2 and that will allow you to do a normal zoom. You can zoom in or out. Zoom decimal puts each pixel as a single, as a tenth, or you can do zoom standard. That's what I'm in. So you can push the 6 and that will give you a screen that looks exactly the same as mine. So now at this point we want to actually solve it. So to solve it, I'm going to go up to math. I want the calculator to do some math for me. And so I'm going to go, of course, to intersection because I want to find the intersection of the two lines. Push enter. Now it asks for the first curve. Note that it has a 1. That's referring to y1. Okay, that's fine for the first curve. Push enter. Now it's asking for the second curve. And again, it's changed to the 2, so it's automatically switched to the other line for me. It does this in case you have 3 or 4 or 27 different graphs in there, so you can choose the ones that you want. So I'm going to choose graph 2, push enter. Now the lower bound means I've got to be to the left of the intersection. I'm going to make sure that I'm far enough to be to the left. Upper bound, of course, means that I go to the right. You've got to make sure that you're to the right, so just keep going until you are absolutely certain that you're to the right. Push enter. See, it's busy here. It's going to calculate for me. Calculate, 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 calculate. Yeah! See, it shows me that x is 2.55. That's how much the brush was. And y is 25 cents. Howdy doody. There you go. Try it on your own.